So much attention has been focused on Donald Trump and Senator Ted Cruz in the lead up to the all-important Iowa caucuses in 4 days from now. That is because the Republican presidential candidates are really at the top of these polls here. So close when you look at those numbers. Behind them, distant third, you have Florida Senator Marco Rubio. He is on the trail in Iowa trying to remind his supporters to keep the big picture in mind, and that is defeating the Democrats come November. Rubio warned them not to get sidetracked by the fact that Trump is boarding tonight's Republican debate.
And I know all the press is here. 90% of their coverage is on this whole thing. Oh, Donald Trump's not going to show up. Ted Cruz is challenging him to a one-on-one, mano-a-mano debate. Interesting sideshow. Greatest show on earth. This is not a show. This is serious. We cannot lose this election. We have to turn this country around now. We cannot wait another 4 years.
Joining me now here in New York is Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz. He chairs the House Oversight Committee. He is supporting Rubio for President of the United States. Congressman, so great to see you in person.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
Beginning there, just listening to Marco Rubio saying, you know, come on, this is serious. This is not a show. When you see that and you hear that, to me that says, my goodness, he's been on the trail for, what, 6 months, and he's still frustrated. He's frustrated over this guy, Trump.
Well, you know, there's a lot of oxygen being sucked out of the room on what is legitimately a sideshow about whether or not you're going to be at a debate, not be at a debate.
But even before then.
But we as Republicans, we better darn well start talking about issues and about policies and why conservatives in the White House would be better for this country. That's the heart and soul of why Marco Rubio is running for president. He's very conservative, but he's got to be talking about the issues, and these other little things are a distraction.
How does he do that tonight, sans Trump on that stage? How does he sell that to the American viewer?
Well, look, hey, with Donald Trump not in the room, most people get more time. And when you get in and start talking about foreign policy, about how to grow the economy, about all of those types of things, Marco shines. I mean, Marco Rubio is our best foot forward as Republicans. And if we want to win in November, we better darn well have Marco Rubio at the top of that ticket.
Who's hoping to obviously outshine Marco Rubio is Senator Ted Cruz,
yes,
who will finally get that center podium spot. Listen, I've talked to a lot of people. There's a lot of negativity swirling around him. Quite simply the fact that there is not a single Republican senator who works with him on the Hill who is saying, we like this guy, to me speaks volumes. Why is that? Why is not a single senator publicly endorsing him? Well,
he'll have to answer that, but there's a reason why a lot of us of the younger generation, new kind of upcoming conservatives, support Marco Rubio. Myself, Trey Gowdy, and a host of others were behind Marco Rubio because I happen to have met and spent time with every single candidate on both sides of the aisle, some more than others. And Marco Rubio is just that person who we gravitate to as that
Well, why
leader.
not Ted Cruz? Give me something. I mean, I see this look in your eye.
Well, I don't want to say anything negative about him, but I can tell you the positives are just so great for Marco Rubio. And he's just an engaging personality that we trust. And Marco has actually passed some substantive legislation. When he went after those risk corridors and actually got that legislation passed in his first term, that shows success in bringing both sides of the aisle together that some of the other candidates haven't been able to do.
So success in Washington, but when you hear your House Speaker Paul Ryan saying, you look at all these guys and gal, and it's like the circular firing squad, that's not a good thing.
I don't think you've seen Marco Rubio, though, taking direct shots. He's been on the receiving end.
Do you agree with Speaker Ryan?
Well, yeah, when we're beating up on each other, we're not beating up on the policy differences between ourselves and Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. And so
Rubio taking direct shots? Really?
Well, he's had $20 million laid down on top of him, and he's still in the top 3. That's pretty remarkable, and I think shows the staying power, because that is not going to be let up after the nominee comes. You've got to be able to take a lot of Clinton fire and a lot of Democratic money coming after you. And I think they're mostly scared about having Marco Rubio at the top of the ticket than they would be Senator Cruz or any of the others.
Did you hear what Vice President Joe Biden has just said?
No, I didn't.
Let me share with you. He said, actually, we have the sound. I won't quote him. We have the sound. Here you go.
Hey, we may be given a gift from the Lord in the presidential race here. I don't know who to root for more, Cruz or Bush, what's that guy's name? He's having a fundraiser for veterans tonight, I'm told. But all kidding aside, folks, you know, it's been a tough last couple cycles. But we should get up, man. There's a real shot here.
You know, Cruz or what's his name?
I agree.
That's the vice president.
I would agree with the vice president. The last couple cycles have been tough because we are not fans of what President Obama has been doing, and him as the vice president. He just said the last couple of cycles have been tough. I would agree with him on that.
But a gift from God, perhaps those two.
I mean,
like to your point, maybe they're hoping it's not a
Rubio. Give the vice president a microphone, and there'll be material there. So yeah.
Congressman Chaffetz. Okay, final question. New York Times, Ross Douthat. This is why he writes, why isn't Marco Rubio winning? Quote, he's well liked by Republican voters, he polls very well against Hillary Clinton, and nothing scandalous has emerged to derail him. Yet here we are, just days from Iowa, and prominent Republicans are variously frustrated and confused, resigning themselves to Trump versus Cruz or attempting complicated bank shots to take one or both of them out instead of doing what many people expected and simply rallying to Rubio. Why haven't more Republicans come together, coalesced behind one, not Trump, candidate?
We have a lot of good qualified candidates, and I really do believe that. And there are a lot of people that don't even show.
Isn't that part of the problem?
But I also think it's an opportunity because we have a very diverse ticket from Carly Fiorina to Dr. Carson to, I mean, you keep going down the list. We have a very diversified ticket above and beyond what normally people say, oh, Republicans, you know, they're just all this certain type. And we have two people, a Cruz and a Rubio, that have their names on the ballot. You would have never suspect, 2-3 years ago. And they're still getting familiar with these people. I'm convinced in my heart when people get to know Marco Rubio, hear him, see him, understand him, listen to him in a debate, that's why he has this growing momentum and support and why I think he's our best foot forward come November. I really do believe it.
Congressman Jason Chaffetz, thank
you very much.
Thank you. Coming up next,